Friday! Every day, to me, feels like Friday at 𝗹𝗶𝘳 Studios because our team is so brilliant and the work that we do is so meaningful. So make sure you're working in something that you're passionate about. Eliminate what doesn't add value to your life and bring in more that does. And that's why you can have Friday every day. Woohoo! Alright, the sprint today. Basically, we as a team it was a lot about comms, especially from my task today was all around comms, so getting the right comms to the right people at the right time. So when you're thinking about communications, that's what comms is. Communications is a big part of onboarding people, building awareness, creating that desire for change, and you really have to think about it from a beginning, middle, and end perspective. So I was going through that journey, sending out the comms in terms of we're in the middle at the moment, and looking at making sure, is there anything else that I can do to support the people that are receiving the comms around our onboarding bootcamp any better. So beginning is build the awareness, create the excitement, create the why, what's in it for them. The middle is really around like the how can you be involved, what is required of you, how to seek support. And then the post stuff is generally when it's been launched, so it's out there, people are doing things with your training, your initiative, whatever it is. Do they need little nudges to help support the uptake, the seeking support, little challenges for them to keep taking action, supporting them outside of the training event or the solution that you've put in there. So that's some comms communications tips. A nice model actually to check is the 𝗟𝗏𝗏 model for change. I think it stands for awareness, desire, knowledge, action and reinforce, something along those lines, but Google it and you'll find out more. So that was my day, was really around the comms. The girls, Hannah and Victoria, were focusing on those resources again, so popping them into, they were finalizing all of them, making sure they all work, putting them into the user learning dashboard. So we have a platform on the Creator Hub, people will go in there and do the program, and it's built into, day 1, AM, PM. I explained that the other day, and you can check it out on the main page to get the flow. We interrupt this program to give you a delight. Sure, the fact that you're watching the vlogs, thank you. And yes, I do want to take you behind the scenes and give you more value. So this is inside the onboarding bootcamp. That's exciting. I'm looking at it for the first time now as well, so I'm not going to go through it in too much detail, but let's have a look. A couple of the other things, how to prepare for day 1, bit of inspo. Instructions, so we've split it into the days. Let's have a look. Couple of lessons, completion, extra value, bonus. Oh, that's cool. Templates, resources, supporting resources. Oh, Jesus. Well, I can't give you too much away. But so this is the girls, what they worked on today. I still need to QA and user test it, and it might change. However, that is behind the scenes if you join into the onboarding bootcamp. But they were putting it in there. It's all, their thing today was to get that all ready. So now I will go in there with fresh eyes and pretend to be someone that goes from the enrollment process. And the important part of this is we tend to we get so deep in our work that we miss things. We think it's perfect, we think there's no gaps, we think their flow is wonderful, we think it makes sense, but because we're so deep in it, sometimes it's hard for us to see our own blind spots. So the benefit, especially in our team, is we try to do one person on the task and then give it to someone else with fresh eyes to be able to check that and basically break it. So my next role after today's sprint, because it's built, it's literally ready for us to say, you've enrolled, here's the link, go start your journey. But what we want is me to jump in and user test and be that person that receives the link and break it. If we break it, that is fantastic, because at least we're finding it before our users, our learners, get in there. So the girls did that. We've been receiving more applications, which is really, really exciting, and they're all qualified. Qualified means there's no real questions. It means that the communications we've been putting out have answered the question, so they've made the decision, yes, I am ready to commit myself to the program, I am ready to enroll in the program, I am ready to invest financially in the program, or whatever it is that you're building. I'm just referring to our onboarding bootcamp in this instance for the example. But a qualified person means that they are ready, they see the value themselves, which is great feedback on the way things are written, the journey that people have been on. So if you think about the FAQs, if you can answer as many of someone's FAQs as possible to minimize that back and forth and basically be the less risky option, or the easiest way for someone to say yes or no to whatever it is that you want them to do. So think about that when you're putting out training initiatives, when you're thinking about programs that you're developing. How can you get someone to self-decide that this will add value to my life, this won't add value to my life, and this is why I'm going to take advantage of it, or why I'm not going to take advantage of it, or why I'm going to seek further understanding to see if it is ready for me or not. So help pre-qualify people. There's probably something I learned about qualifying when I was watching YouTube videos on sales, so I would recommend having a look at how to qualify customers, and it basically is like a process of elimination to minimize friction, to minimize admin, to minimize burden, back and forth, all of those things that prevent or slow down the decision-making process. And this is from both sides, customer experience, but also your experience of launching something out into the world. And then what else have we got? That's pretty much it. So let me have a look. Yeah, so I went into execution mode myself. The girls, their tasks took all day. They literally sent it 5 minutes after we finished. So they are now done. They're also finished on the sprint. So next week we're 100% back within our capacity on client tasks, which is probably our last week of the vlog as well. So pay attention for that, because you'll get to see more of the client stuff kicking off and continuing, and less of this onboarding program. And then, so what did I do? Oh, actually, I made a note for myself that I wanted to share with you. So yesterday was a public holiday here in Australia. A lot of our public holidays in Australia are religious focused, and they tend to be like Christianity focused. So look, the way I do it is and this is just an employee experience tip, the days are legislated and people are entitled to have them. However, we don't all celebrate the meaning behind a public holiday, and I don't believe myself that it has to be an expectation for other people to do that either. So I give the girls and myself the choice. There's a public holiday coming up. Do you wish to take it? Yes or no? That's all I need to know. We allow our team to bank them, which means you can save it and use it at a future time if you want, if you decide not to take advantage of the public holiday. So if, for example, you don't celebrate Christmas, then those Christmas public holidays, you don't have to take them. You can bank them and use them at a time that is more beneficial for you. And yeah, that's just something we do. It's just thinking about how might that look like in your workplace. And the only thing in terms of planning is I do ask them to let me know 2 weeks in advance if they're planning on not taking the public holiday, because that means there's a bit of extra planning for me to try and schedule tasks or projects around that. So I just need notice to make it work. But as much as possible, we're just trying to say yes and accommodate the desires of the team to enhance our employee experience, because we know that everyone's different and lives are different, things come up differently for people. So as much as we can accommodate home life and personal preferences and happy work life, happy life, you can make them the same. And what else have I got here? Let me just check my notes. Oh, I want to show you the templates. So it's just a little excerpt, break it down, make it for yourself. We have an employee version of this one that actually is the flip side of it. So basically, in case the supervisor doesn't do their bit, we're getting the new employee with the new energy coming in with the opposite side of the tasks and asking for the meetings and asking for their supervisor to clarify their role statement expectations and stuff like that. So here it is now. This is one of the resources from our onboarding bootcamp. Just going to show you one specific thing. Getting supervisors and the new starter to have a conversation about the position description. Look at these kinds of questions. It's all about setting them up for success, clarifying expectations. Good stuff, people. And yeah, the rest of the day was after lunch continuing on my task, which was around communications, and that is Friday done, weekend ahead. Thank you for choosing to learn with us. If you've got tips or this is adding value to your life, share this or them with other people, because when we know more, we can be inspired and do things better to make our lives better, the people that we serve better, and the world becomes a better place. It's all within your control or influence. Peace out.